new Toyota fork truck. It's very similar actually to our other Toyota fork trucks that we have here. There is an obvious difference right off the bat. This has an enclosed cab, as you see here, with windows, and then also the height is higher of this fork truck, so you really need to take that into account as you go into some possibly tight areas. The first thing we want to do is, when we start out with the fork truck for the day, we want to do a complete inspection of the truck. And just point out that the inspection sheets are found in this folder as usual. So we'll start out with doing a walk around the truck. I'll just point out that this is the fuel fill right here, and this particular unit takes gasoline. And we'll go around and just inspect the exterior of the fork truck, starting with the tires. You know, you want to look for things like bulges or cracks, or you know, worn tread wear, things like that. Make sure there are no lug nuts that are broken. Go around here, you're looking at the windows, making sure that there's no problems there. Then you get around here to the front of the truck, and at this point you want to look over the metal structure, look over the forks, make sure that you don't see any cracks, any looseness as you pull on this. Give a quick look over the chains, make sure those are in good order, that you don't see any dripping or hydraulic leaks. Over here, you're checking the metal structure for cracks, the pins, make sure the pins aren't broken. And then continue your walk around on the other side. You're inspecting the other tires. And everything looks good. We'll start on the inside. I'm going to walk over to this side here. So as we access the inside, it's very important that you open both of these doors, and I'll show you the reason for that in a bit. Right now I'm going to access the engine compartment. You see here that there's a back window here. This is extremely important so you don't break the back window in accessing the engine compartment. Open up this latch here and open that back window. Another very important step is to pull on this lever right here, and you want to push the seat completely forward. Then right down here is a latch that opens the engine cowling. And you can see how by opening the window here, that the seat goes through there. And again, if you don't have both side doors open, that's going to interfere with the opening of this compartment as well. Okay, the first thing I want to point out is your engine. This is your engine oil fill right here, and right next to that is the dipstick right here. So that's the area for checking your engine oil. And now that I'm over here by the battery, you want to check the battery over. Make sure you don't see any leaks, any corrosion buildup, and make sure the connections are tight. Pull on those. That looks good. And at this point, I am going to walk around over to the other side here and point out a few more things. Okay, this area, this is your for checking your engine coolant level, and there's a mark down here, and you might have to clean this off if it gets dirty, but you want to make sure you have coolant up to that mark. This right here is the hydraulic fluid reservoir, and you access this by pulling directly out on the cap like this. And there's actually a dipstick there where you can check the level of the hydraulic fluid. and then you just simply push it back, and there's an O-ring that holds it snugly into place. Also, just make sure you know there's no excessive oil leaks, that hoses, everything looks nice and tight and good. In this area we have a removable cover that accesses the transmission. So you got to you pull this up here, and you got to kind of just fiddle with this and move it to the side. And as I did this is your transmission check area and fill area right here. And again, you know, check hoses over, make sure you don't have any excessive leaks and that sort of thing. So I'll cover that back up. Oh, and one other thing here with the engine, the air filter here, you would access that here. So you'd want to pull that off and check it out. Okay, we're going to close this engine cover here. Again, pull up here, push on the orange button, and just lower it back down into place. You get that down, then take your seat all the way back. Now over here, we want to look over the controls. Here with the lights, this is where you control the lights. So you move it to the first one here. That's your running lights. Those are on the back of the fork truck. And these are your main lights for controlling that. This is your blinker as well for right and left. And we'll turn that off. Over here is the parking brake. Right now, currently it's depressed in. To release the parking brake, pull up on this lever, and that comes up. The important thing to remember about the brake is that it needs to be completely engaged. So if I only push it down a little bit, see how it springs back up? You have to completely depress it for it to engage. This is where you check the brake fluid. And this cap here just snaps off. So pull that off, you can check your level of your brake fluid. Location, I'll click that into place. Right over here is where you read your fuel level and engine temperature. So your fuel level is here on the bottom. Just make sure that you always have at least a quarter tank of fuel. Over here are your front wiper controls. You also have a rear wiper control here. The heater control is right here, and here's where the heat comes out. Now, depending on how you have these, like in this direction here, it would help to defrost the windows. And then once you're okay there, you can move that to whatever location is most comfortable for you. It also has a fan for those hotter summer days. Turn that on. And a very important check, your fire extinguisher here. Just make sure that that's been inspected properly, and that the pressure needle is in the proper position on that. And then one last thing, behind the seat here, this is the owner's manual here. So it's always a good thing to look through that, get a feel for the different instruments and running of the unit. So once you're done with the outer inspection and inspecting the engine, you kind of want to do your mechanical inspection right now. This is your lever on the steering column for your forward and reverse directions. And if you're backing up, there's a handle back here. You can grab that handle as you're backing up, and there's this yellow button here is an additional horn. So that's in addition to your backup alarm. If you want to have a horn, you can just press the button. So in your mechanical inspection, you want to make sure you run the mast here completely up and down. You tilt it down and up, making sure that movement is good and that you don't have any rocks or other obstructions in the mast. And then side to side here as well. One more thing here is the making sure that your lights are physically lit, your backup alarm works, your horn works, and that would complete the inspection.